I'm at the NOLA for Life conference. It's a New Orleans organization that work primarily on, well, there's so many different facets to it. I'm here with Shannon, and it's just so interesting to find out that what's happening in the United States, what's happening in New Orleans. Some would say the UK is heading that way. I would argue that. I would say that the UK should be learning from its partners abroad, and also using the strategies that you use, because you're at the, crime is actually reducing. You're actually seeing some results out there. So I thought it'd be great to talk to Shannon about peer support, and just to get you to highlight what it is and how it works in New Orleans, and how we could possibly use that here to work with some of the young people that we are working with, because there's so many different youth organizations out here, so many mentors, so many people that want to work with young people, but they don't have the strategies. So if you could just tell the world, what are the strategies, those key strategies for peer support?
Sure. We have three main initiatives that I work with peer support. It's group violence reduction strategy, ceasefire, and reentry. Okay. And we had a shooting that involved law enforcement about a year and a half ago. Alton Sterling was shot in Baton Rouge, which is about an hour outside of New Orleans. And many of our participants had very strong feelings about that shooting. And the director of ceasefire, reentry, and I sat down and we thought, we really need to have these people to communicate their feelings. So we decided to do a combined group that evening and bring those individuals together. And it was not without risk. Many gang members that were, opposing were going to be in that room together. So we brought mediators in to bring the temper down in case anything happened. We had about 18 men come and sit in that room. There was not a single issue that came up. I was the only white female in the room. I sat and took notes. Wow. No one even batted an eye. They considered me family that night. Let me speak if I needed to. But we had such a strong response to everyone being together that the ceasefire director and I said, you know what, we need to continue this type of group, because ceasefire had groups already, but we wanted to integrate all three initiatives. So we decided, let's do this. So it took us a year and a half, but we decided this was the time. So in June, we launched those groups that were combined. So the model, ceasefire leads the group. They have a great staff member who can do it, but case managers from all three initiatives come, I go, and we rotate. So we can provide resources to all the men who are there, no matter what they need. But our model, we use a cognitive behavioral base. So they are able to change their thinking, to change their behavior, because we want them to succeed. We don't want them involved in a violent lifestyle anymore. So in just 2 months, we have 17 to 20 men attending group every single week. They love it. We've had positive feedback. We're looking at recidivism rates. No one has gone back to jail since attending group. They're, inviting their friends, their family, other participants within their groups. It's been so strong. Everyone's had positive feedback, but what we're really looking at is, are they changing their thinking and behavior? So every week we're asking them when they come in, how are you feeling tonight? And to rate that on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I've had the worst day of my life, and 10 being the best positive day. And then why? Because we want to, we don't just want to throw out a number. So we ask them again at the end of the night to rate the same thing after, they've had their group time. And on average, their check-in is a 4.3. And on average, their check-in is an 8.5. So
they're actually leaving feeling much better about themselves. So this is one thing, because in the UK, a lot of the young people are afraid of peer support, because they might come in contact with somebody from another gang or from a different postcode. So it becomes really challenging just to get a group of young people in the same place. So what you're saying is that that's a bit of a myth, is once they're in that place, there is a foundation for growth once they're in there. So it's about them changing their mindsets and not believing that, if they're caught in the wrong postcode, they're going to be murdered, they're going to be killed. By turning up at these peer support groups, they're able to literally add more value to their life.
Yes, and they're realizing that that person from that opposing group or gang, they're actually just like them. They're just turning up with a different group. And the conversations that they're having are about the same stuff. So they're finding that common thread and that common ground that they can base maybe a new friendship on. So for that night and in that 2-hour space and they share a meal together too, that's important to know. So that's common ground, that they are the same. And then they spin the narrative, at the end with, I came in here maybe feeling a little down, but when I left, I'm feeling better. So if I hadn't come here, I may have made a really bad choice and done something illegal or gotten myself shot, but instead I chose this space. I chose this choice, and my life maybe has changed because of it.
Wow, I think it's amazing. All you youth workers out there who are looking for ways of engaging young people, try this peer support stuff. You can find it on the NOLA website, right? NOLA for Life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can find it on the NOLA for Life website. There are strategies on there. You can follow what these guys are doing. They're really, really making a difference out there in New Orleans. And I firmly believe this is the future of young people in this country.